is all. Yep, you probably see me here. So happy New Year's Eve. Well, the New Year's coming up for a lot of people. So I'll say that. That's one of the reasons I decided to do this particular live stream. Is it's New Year's Eve. Tonight's New Year's, right? So how many TFLers are going to have a happy New Year's? What do they got forward to look for this year? Living TFL. What do they got forward to look for? Forward to. Oh, well. Probably the same old, right? Because nothing's going to change. That's right. You'll wake up tomorrow morning. That'll be 2019, January 1st. Or you wake up tomorrow afternoon if you're up all night. That's right. Whatever you want to call your morning hours, whether it's PM hours or AM hours, you're going to wake up and it's going to be what? Another day. It's going to be a new year. And not a thing will have changed. That's right. So, so for TFLers, that's what it is. As a matter of fact, I was talking with Steve a little bit ago. You all know who Steve is, right? Yep. Of course you do. I just got off the phone with him, and lo and behold, if he can't even have a New Year's Eve without working. But then that's because he has a life outside of the internet. So that's the reality. So he was in his van and he was headed to a job, because he can't even get New Year's Eve off without somebody bothering him, without him having to go out and fix somebody's heat. Okay, so you know how it is. When you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of homes, thousands of homes, and you're doing Steve's type of career, this time of year is notorious for breakdowns with furnaces and stuff. Just like in the summertime, it's air conditioners that's going to be breaking down. People like Steve are going to be running their butt off. There's just going to be nonstop work. Okay, so there Steve is running on New Year's Eve to fix a furnace. Or he might be here in this live stream. Who knows? He does realize and know that I was going to do this live stream. I told him before I came up and done it. Okay. I've even given him the information if he was to get through with the job and wanted to come in to where he can come in. So with that being said, I want to talk a little bit of the TFLers here. Nothing's going to change, right? You do know that. And you do know the only road to happiness for you is for you to figure out a way to make yourself happy. You cannot count on somebody else for your happiness. Don't even go there because your happiness won't come through another human being. And you should never count on somebody else for your happiness to begin with. You should first make yourself happy in your own life, your own personal life. And so I guess my message to TFLers for 2019 is find a way to make yourself happy. Take the dating arena off your mind. Find hobbies. Find something to do constructive. And when you can make yourself happy and content and not have to have the female gender in your brain for you guys, then go out there and try to associate with people what you can in a world that's lost the ability to associate. At one time, people used to know their neighbors. And neighbors did things for each other and helped each other out, and they knew each other personally. That went out the door. At one time, children used to go outside and play. And they didn't have much TV, so they would go up to the park and maybe play a game of baseball. Or go to a field and play football. Or maybe they'd get on their skateboards and they would go skateboarding or what have you. They would go out and they would get together with their friends from school when you were growing up. You don't see too much of that anymore, do you? No. And because of inflation, NWO, and the dedicated destruction of your society, most people are stuck into the work, aren't they, for the monetary system to make it. Working long days. Some people are working long days with shitty benefits or no benefits. Other people are working long days with good benefits. Other people this time of year were Scrooge came along and laid them off and let them go. And they're celebrating their new year by being unemployed. Yes, that's still going on. You may not know what's going on because it's not being reported on your television set, but I can guarantee you it is still going on. Many corporations and companies, they do their taxes this time of year. Okay, so between October and November is when they get their taxes done. And these are generally the months that if they're going to make cuts, this is when they do it. And people lose jobs. So the company's way of saying Merry Christmas to their employee was to say, you used to work here. You're no longer working here. And we don't care if you got children. Because our name is Scrooge. But then that's the society we live in, isn't it? So we got people for a new year that are looking for a new job because their job let them go, got rid of them, adios them. We got other people that are TFLers that really, they don't give a crap about this day. What for? They got nothing to look forward to, right? Yeah, I understand. Okay, I really do. But you actually do have something to look forward to if you can put your mind in the right mindset. Because you're not going to make the problem go away. And for you people who want to complain and say that, oh, we're nothing but a bunch of whiners and this is all we do, blah, 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 is bitch and complain and talk about the issue. Well, nothing ever got changed without first doing that. Throughout all of history, nothing was ever changed without first doing that. To say it's taboo is corruption. That's to hide something you don't want talked about. And there would be a reason you don't want it talked about because you know damn well what I'm talking about is real. It's affecting people personally in their life. And it's destroying a lot of young men's lives. It really has. And it destroys women's lives, but the women's not smart enough to figure that out because they have all the choice. You perceive in your mind that they're happy because they have a guy in their arms all the time. That don't mean they're happy. It really doesn't. Especially when they're chasing people for all the wrong reasons. You know, drama has replaced love in today's society. So in 2019, I'm sure you will understand that that's not going to go away. That's not going to change. No. No more than the fraudulent wars that are going on with the real terrorists, the United States of messed up Nazi Germany, America. Okay, and its criminal politicians who are following orders from their criminal owners. Okay, that they've allowed to own them. You know, because they're slaves. They're criminal slaves, and for you people that are slaves to the system, you perpetuate the problem, you continue the problem goes on and on and on, it don't go away. So for TFLers, no. You have another year of BS to look forward to, where your television set will still continuously lie to you. That's right. Or not a damn thing is going to change for you. The only change that could come for you is when you can put yourself in the right state of mind to figure out ways to make yourself happy. And you must do this for yourself because nobody can do it for you. And this is what I wish that a lot of men could do. And for men going their own way, the fraudulent men's going your own way movement. There's a reason it was on mainstream media because it's fake, it's phony. It's as fake as the news that you hear echoing out your TV set. It's propaganda. Not that men going their own way wasn't a great idea, because it was. The concept was right. The problem is almost no man's doing it. We have a few that are legit that are doing it. Space Devil 13 Belly, yeah, he's doing it. For real. No, he sure is. He's a man going his own way. I would think that Steve Hoke is more qualifies as a man going his own way, whether you think so or not. Okay? For real. I don't care what you think or you believe. You like to think that you could put Steve Hoke or myself and you can invent some label or category or life that you think that I'm living or they're living or Steve's living. And it because you pictured this in your brain that this is the life we're living, you think that's so, and it's not so at all. You don't know me personally. You haven't walked in my shoes. You haven't walked in my life. You only know what you see on this video and my channel, the videos I do. I'm as real as it gets. I'm not fraudulent. I'm not fake. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't come up here to lie to people, and I don't come up here to hurt people. If you're being hurt by the truth, it's because you're a deceiver. You're a liar. You're somebody that can't be trusted. You're non-credible. You're not to be trusted or believed. So I don't care if you're being hurt by truth. Because truth don't hurt honest people. It only hurts liars. Okay? You don't know Steve. You don't know Mr. Hulk at all. And Steve is an honest guy. He's made some mistakes, but then let me tell you something. So have I, so have you, and so has every last one of you. There's no such thing as a female or a male that hasn't made a mistake. If you're a human being on the face of this earth, you have made mistakes. And if you try to claim that you haven't, it's because you're not credible, you're not believable, you're not to be believed, and you're not to be trusted because you're a liar. End of story. I don't have to say no more about that. That's exactly the way it is. You do not know Steve Hoka. You don't walk in his shoes every day of the week. Okay? You don't know how he treats other people, his behavior in real life. You don't know what he does. You assume. That's right, you heard me. You assume. You think with the brain in the jar over there on the shelf. You don't even use your own brain. You don't use critical thinking skills because you possess none. This is to the people who like to think they know Steve Hoka so well that've never met him in their life. As I just told you, I'd just gotten off the phone with Mr. Hoka before I came up on this live stream. I sure did. And this is the reason I was able to tell you where Steve was at. See, that's right. because Steve don't have a life living online waiting for you to make, you're waiting on him, you know. And some people out here would make an assumption and say that Steve has left the building or Steve has left YouTube. No, Steve hasn't left the building. Steve hasn't left YouTube. Steve is not obligated, no more than I am, to come up here to appease people that don't even know him. When Steve comes up because Steve feels like coming up, because Steve wants to come up and do something, talk about something. That's his prerogative. It's his right. And especially since he does not live on the internet. He's not somebody that lives in his room or lives in his mama's basement that has no life at all, and the only life he has is on his computer. No, that's not Steve. Never has been Steve, never will be Steve. Okay? And that part is no lie. And no, Steve hasn't left the building. It's as simple as that. And so, there's nothing I can say about that. Other than the fact that Steve will make time to come up and do something when Steve feels like making time to come up and do something. If you was working your ass off and you were working all day long around the clock and you maybe had your mother was sick, your mother was ill, or you had to help take care of your mother, who you would owe that to your parents since they brought you into this world and spent their money taking care of you as a child. That's right. When they get old enough that they can no longer care for themselves, if you're a human being who has heart and care, and you're not an evil, twisted, sick piece of no good nothing, then you'll be there for your parents when they need you. If you're a no good, twisted, sick nothing, then I don't have respect for you anyhow. So, to make assumptions that Steve Hoka has left the building or left YouTube again, as some people would want to say, would be a lie, would be fraudulent, which wouldn't be true. Steve's just not obligated to come up here because you think he has to come up here, because you're the one that obviously presents and represents somebody that has no life yourself. If all you have time to do is sit at your computer waiting for Steve to come up and you're upset because he hasn't come up, obviously you might want to go look in the mirror and examine yourself, because you must be living at your computer. You must not have your own personal life going on, huh? If you have your own personal life going on, then maybe you better stop and think about Steve Hoka's not some puppet that don't have an ordinary life like you and I do. Yes, me, I've had an ordinary life. I've worked my whole life. I sure have. I've worked my whole life until I was unable to work anymore without putting myself at risk of killing myself because of my present health condition. Okay. Yes, I still smoke and I know I shouldn't smoke, but guess what? You still eat processed foods and breathe in chemtrails every day, and you people might be getting cancer and dying of cancer that our society knows what the cure for cancer is. They know what causes cancer. And our society refuses to cure you because they're too busy getting rich off of watching you die. Now, you're going to say I'm nuts and I'm full of it and I don't know what I'm talking about. But I know full well what I'm talking about when I said that statement. I've done my homework and you haven't done yours. Okay? We actually have 3 doctors that were curing every form of cancer there was. that the Fraud and Death Administration, well known as the Food and Drug Administration, I call them the Fraud and Death Administration, attacked these doctors until they got their licenses to practice, all because what's the end word of this fraud and drug fraud and death administration? What's the middle word there? Drugs. What drugs are we talking about? No, we're not talking about marijuana. We're not talking about crack cocaine. Okay, we're talking about big pharma. We're talking about prescription drugs. That's what we're talking about. Okay, big pharma. They would stand to lose millions and millions of dollars a year if you knew that they knew where cancer come from and how to cure cancer. If you understood it's because of the breakdown of your immune system from you not having the proper things in your body. That's right. Cancer's real name is called scurvy, by the way. Most of you probably don't even know that. That the real name of cancer is scurvy. It was renamed to cancer, okay? But back in the day, it used to be called scurvy. It was commonly cured through the right diet, making sure you had the right minerals, vitamins, and things in your body. And then your immune system becomes strong, and your immune system won't allow scurvy or cancer. But your immune system becomes broke down and becomes weak because you're lacking certain things in your body. You don't know you are. You run to big pharmacy and you buy your vitamins. But the vitamins aren't what they're telling you they are. They're fraudulent labeling. That's right, it's called fraudulent labeling. They give you a phony vitamin, a fraudulent vitamin, that doesn't have what you think it has in it. And so, therefore, your immune system stays weak. That's right. You've convinced yourself that your society would never do this to you, allowing them to get by with it. Okay, what can I say? I'm not going to go any further with that. But for our Happy New Year, I don't know what's happy about it. You're going to wake up tomorrow, regardless if it's afternoon or morning time. You're going to climb out of bed, and it's going to be just another day in the same sick, twisted world that we're living in now. Your mindsets ain't going to change. Dave is so correct once again. I'm really beginning to like Dave a lot. I don't even know this guy on a personal level, but I wouldn't mind knowing this guy on a personal level. I'll tell you that right now. Dave's been in my chats here, in my live streams, and I'll tell you what. Thank you, Dave. This is somebody that's aware, awake, and has done his homework and knows what the hell he's talking about. I appreciate honest, good people. And Dave, I appreciate. I really do. I wanted to give a shout out to you because you deserve it, okay? You really do. And as far as Steve Hoka goes, he deserves a shout out because Steve Hoka, at least I can say this for Steve Hoka. He's real. He's not fake. He's just like me or Dave or any of us. He's made mistakes in his life. All of us have. If all you got is time to look for Steve's mistakes to slam him with, you're the one that has a mental issue. You're the one that has a problem. You're the one that needs to go examine yourself. not Steve. I don't see Steve running around YouTube trolling you. I see somebody up here trolling Steve on a regular basis. No punts, no names called, not going to say the name. I removed the name from this live stream. I sure did. Didn't even acknowledge him, and I'm not going to acknowledge him because he's not credible. He's not credible, he's not believable, and he's not trustable. He speaks out both ends of his mouth. He has shown his true colors, and with showing them true colors comes the real picture. He's not somebody that can be trusted. Okay? And for you people out there that hate me and maybe hate Steve, or you hate the fact that Steve and I are talking, I only got one thing to say to you. Tough shit. Get over it. That's all I got to say about that. But what I really want to see, if I was to have a New Year's resolution for 2019, would be for men's rights activists, the fraudulent men's going your own way movement, the incel movement, okay, and all you other men who's given different names to the same problems to come together. To stop attacking each other. Stop playing the bigger victim card. You don't want to be like incel where you're practicing censoring yourself. I mean, that's insanity. Men are all experiencing the same issues and fail to be able to acknowledge that and stand together and talk about that. You have to continue to talk about this in a public forum over and over and over again, even if people don't like it. Why? Because you're never going to change nothing until you bitch about it enough that people finally get it. Believe me, there's a whole lot of men out here that get it, and women, but don't want it changed because they're evil, because they're criminals, because they're parasites, because they're enjoying their power trip. They're enjoying doing onto somebody that they wouldn't want done onto themselves. To corrupt. I've said it so many times to people, you do onto one as you want done onto yourself. And if you don't want it done onto yourself, don't do it onto somebody else. But that seems to go through your hollow head in one ear, out the other ear, and down the street and never register because either your brains are still in the package, wrapped and in the box, unhooked, uninstalled, or you shorted them out with all the drugs you were doing, or with the chemtrails, or the fluoride, or whatever, the GMO foods. Okay, it's pretty pathetic. So what I'm going to tell you is simple. We need men to come together. We need a spot where men can go in every community around the world for men that are living this, to where they can meet like-minded men going through the same issues, to where they can talk to each other, where they can vent their frustrations. You don't want to bottle things up inside and keep bottling them up and keep bottling them up. Our society would love to see you keep bottling them up because they're evil, they're sick. Because they understand if you keep bottling stuff up, pretty soon you're either going to lose your mind, you're going to flip out, and you're going to do something you shouldn't do. George Sidini. See, I've never condoned violence. I don't agree with violence. I don't agree with it in no shape, no fashion, no form. Never have. There is no excuse for laying your hands on another human being unless it's in self defense. And you shouldn't have to go into self defense because other people need to grow the hell up and leave their hands off you. Okay? So I don't condone violence. I do understand why it happens. Though, however, I do understand somebody like George Sidini wasn't a psyop, wasn't a government psyop. The George Sidini incident was real. Mainstream media loved it. They stripped his blogs offline and they reworded his blogs, and that's right, they reworded them. They took his words and twisted them and flipped them around and made it sound like he said something he never said. How could he fight him back about what they did to his words? He couldn't. He was dead. And so, it's sad that it had to go as far as it did, but George Sidini was real. This man didn't want to turn 50 years old and still be alone. This man had wasted a lot of money to the pickup artist industry. And he was so sick of the bullshit, the evil that our society has in it. And he has a right to be mad. See, TFLers and even real men going their own way, men actually have a right to be angry. Because I'll guarantee you, if it was the other way around, the women would be outraged, very pissed off. But you seem to think that a man don't have emotions and feelings, huh? You seem to want to lie to the world and say that women are emotional and men are not. It's a complete lie. Okay? And a man is shamed if he cries unless it's crying at a funeral of a family member. Yeah. He has to have a really good reason to cry or he's shamed by our society. Where a female can cry over anything, right? Oh, poor her. Yeah, that's what we have going on, isn't it? So, you just like about all the male bashing. You can't even turn on a TV set without seeing it all day long, every day. You're going to run into it over and over and over. George Sidini put too much blame on himself. That's correct. Unfortunately, Dave, there's so many TFLers, they're young men, that do exactly that because society has told them it's their fault. Society lies to them and tells them it's their fault. And when you get some young man that grows up and he's in his teens and he starts experiencing this and he gets into his 20s and is experiencing it, and he hits his late 20s and is still experiencing it, and everybody around him keeps telling them it's their fault, it's their fault, it's their fault. Their friends shame them, and their parents, their family members shame them and tell them it's their fault. Other friends and people they talk to may not shame them, but will try to take them by the under the wing and lie to them and tell them all this BS. And then you got the pickup artist industry out there selling their crap, knowing full well that that's what it is crap. And they give up their money to find out what's wrong with me when it was never them. When it was never them. Why do you think it's considered taboo? Why do you think the TFL topic has been called taboo? Because they're covering up the real truth. They don't want you knowing the real truth. Why do you think the men's rights movement, MRA, with the plant Sheo Paul Elam, that's right, the agent, Paul Elam, even though he's done some wonderful work and told a lot of truth, well, but so did Alex Jones, didn't he? He told a lot of truth. He sure did. He also told a lot of lies. Paul Elam didn't have to tell no lies. He just kept his mouth shut. Why do you think they never looked for the cause? What, do you think that was an accident? That they didn't look for the cause? No, it was no accident. Not at all. It was no accident. They didn't look for the cause because they don't want people knowing the root cause. Do you think Steve Hoka can fix somebody's air conditioner or furnace without first finding the root cause? No. See, our society likes to chase symptoms and lie. The men's right movement showed lots of truth, but they showed all the symptoms. Symptom after symptom after symptom after symptom after symptom after symptom. They lied to you and told you to go to your congressman or your senator. That they must have accidentally made that law. No, they didn't accidentally make that law. There was no accident about it. It was deliberate. And they're not going to change it. So you're going to go to the very people who are responsible for doing this to you. And they didn't accidentally do it to you. And you're going to tell them we want this changed, huh? They're not going to care and they're not going to listen and they're not going to change it. To overturn corruption, people must stand together on massive levels. And simply non-compliance is the simplest way. But they have to do it on a massive scale. Until that happens, you will never overturn corruption. So we cannot overturn TFL until we get enough people on board. We got millions and millions of men all over this world going through this, living this. We have men who get women in their life. And they know firsthand from having women in their life in today's society how fucked up it is. It should never be that way. And it is. Be like my brother Irvin told me once. Now, he's not my brother as by my mother. He's my brother by another mother. And we were close. And it would be like he would tell you. All women are exactly the same in different degrees. That's right, in different degrees. That's social engineering at its finest, isn't it? It sure is. And of course, I won't go with all because we know that's actually not accurate. But when he says women are the same in different degrees, that would be a pretty correct statement. Okay, see, and this person here comes into this live stream late. And the first thing he says is, "Where's Hoka?" Okay, see, so to this person, you have to go back to the beginning of the stream, so you might want to listen to it later on. He don't owe you to be here. No, he don't. He don't owe it to be here, okay? He really don't. He didn't leave the building. No, he didn't. He didn't leave YouTube. No, he didn't. No, no, he didn't. You know, some people out there hate the fact that two of us are talking. You just got to get over it, because he has a personal life like I have a personal life, and you have a personal life, or you have no life at all, and you're the one stuck at the computer, not him. Huh? Because you couldn't be bitching about where he's at. Let's think about one of Steve's typical live streams. If Steve had a live stream tonight, and Steve opened up a live stream on his channel, within 5 minutes he'll have 40 people in there. 40 people that had no life outside of the internet. He could do that every weekend, a live stream, and in the first 5 minutes he'll have 30, 40 people in there. Every single time. He could do one every other day. And within the first 5, 10 minutes, he's going to have 30, 40 people in there. And if he got to be done one every other day, he could pick a different time of day to do them. And he would still get a lot of people in there. Maybe if he hit the wrong time of day, it'd take him a little longer, but he'd still get a lot of people in there. Why would that happen? Because that suggests that there's an awful lot of people sitting at their computer. That's right. With nothing else to do. But you're going to throw them accusations at him, are you? How he has no life outside of TFL. He has no life outside of this. Wrong. So when was the last time you hung out with Steve for a day? That's right. I'm serious. When was the last time you was to Steve's house? Or he was at your house? And you just hung out for the day? Well, what do you mean you haven't done that? Oh, because you've never met him in real life? Oh, that's right. That's the majority of you. So how do you judge somebody you've never met in your whole life? Oh, well, he makes a video and blah, blah, blah. So he made back in the day a 10-minute video. He made a few videos over time. So maybe he done a few live streams and he done an hour and a half, 2-hour, 3-hour live streams when he had time. And maybe that's what he felt like doing at that moment in his life. Maybe he wasn't busy at that moment in his life, huh? See, like me, I have a life outside the internet, so does Steve Oka. He always has. But some of you people want to come up here and slam him for not being around. So you got to get over that because you're the one with the issue. And I'll go back to what Dave is talking about here. Most women are what I call 3 instincts. Okay. Oh yeah, narcissistic. Illogical. Yes, I know. That is true. What's Dave said is so true. That is true. I'm not going to paint all women in the same category, but I'm going to say it is the majority. But you got to remember, it's just like men, unfortunately, the majority. But men are actually, we could be divided even more so than women because we haven't been pampered. The only men I can think of that get pampered are the rich kids. The rich kids, they tend to favor the boys too, and they get pampered. They get placed on a pedestal, yeah. It doesn't matter what the gender are, because when you place a gender on a pedestal from the time they're a child, and you play favoritism to them, you're not helping that child. You're actually creating a psychopath, a narcissist. Somebody that's going to grow up with entitlement issues. That's right, and believe they're owed everything. This is what you're creating. You're creating a Frankenstein. And our society creates Frankensteins all the time with TFL because they've decided to make their little labeling thing and their little quote unquote status BS and their labeling BS. And if somebody don't fit the image that they've decided with the programming, then we push that person out, don't we? And it's a dog eat dog world, right? So we don't care if we push these people out. Isn't that what that really comes down to? Mm-hmm. You don't care that you push them out. So what are you going to do, TFLers, I guarantee you're at home tonight. They're not happy about tomorrow's New Year. We labeled these people when they didn't ask to be labeled, didn't want to be labeled, and we pushed them out. We programmed women to look for what we've programmed women to look for, and this is what they look for. And the labeling system for pushing these guys out worked a wonderful job. It's caused so many men to be rejected over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And I could go on all night saying that word, and I would be accurately correct. So many men worldwide have done everything they were told to do, everything their society told them to do, and every last time it was the same result, year after year after year after year. You drove their confidence and their self-esteem right out of them. Same thing I could do for you if you was climbing a ladder and I pushed you off that ladder. We had 10 guys sitting here waiting on the roof, or 10 women, waiting on the 3rd floor as you're climbing to the 5th floor's roof. They're waiting on the 3rd floor, the 4th floor. And they got the window where the ladder's at. And as you get up to that part of the ladder, they just push the ladder over. They push the ladder over. And you keep falling down and keep falling down. And I got 500 people on the ground yelling at you, telling you to get up, get up, man up, take it, grow up, and quit complaining and whining about that. Now go up that ladder again. How long will you do that before you say fuck you up your ass and you don't go up the ladder no more? Excuse my language. Then you're going to be told, see, it's your own fault. That's what it's like for a guy that's trying to meet a female that's been labeled by our society. And what do? We blame that back onto them, don't we? We sure do. We tell them it's their fault. And we tell them it's their fault over and over and over again. It's not an accident that we have all these men's movements. Whether you're MRA, Incel, MGTOW, TFL, lonely men, whatever name you want to give, it doesn't matter. It's only a name. Let's go to every single name that's been given for men, and let's look at what these men are talking about. Ain't you going to see a common denominator there? Ain't they pretty much all talking about the same damn things? They sure are. And there's millions of them all over the world saying the same things. But then, oh, it don't exist. It's not happening. Isn't that the cop-out that we hear? Sure is. That's correct, Dave. And you could get charged for man spreading too. That's right. You might be sitting on that subway bus, that subway train, or on a public bus, and you may not have your legs pushed in tight together, so you might get fined for that too, right? So what about the woman? Do you suppose if her legs ain't in pushed tight together, that she should be fined too for woman spreading? I think so. But you know that ain't gonna happen now, is it? Because we have corruption. We have another double standard, don't we? That's right. Do you think that's gonna change in 2019? Hell no. That ain't gonna change at all. No, 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 no. That's not about to change. Not whatsoever. You know, Dave, I know you've been on a lot of these chats, and it's totally up to you. But if you want, I put my email on a few times. You could go back and collect my email, and you could send me an email. And I'll send you the information. And sometime, if you want to come into one of my live streams with me, I'd love to have you aboard. You're a very honest man. You're very intelligent. You're very awake. I appreciate people like you. I think you'd have a lot to offer. I'm not telling you have to do it, but I'm giving you the opportunity. If you would choose to do so, want to do so, you may. Okay? I would welcome you aboard. Because I will bring people in here. As you've seen me done, people are willing and wanting to come in and talk. I think people need to hear it from more than just me. I think even Steve Hoka would agree that we should bring more people into this. So, this is where this comes from. And I'm not going to shut up about it. I've been doing this for a lot of years, haven't I? So is Steve Hoka. He may not do it when you think he should be doing it, but he's not obligated to do it when you think he should be doing it. No, he's not under no contract. You're not paying him. He may have asked for donations, okay, but that's his business. It's his right to do so. It's also your right to give or not to give, okay? I don't ask for donations, but then that's me. That's within me. I've always done things from my heart, my whole life. That is me. I do what I do because I care. I would love to see a change. I'd love to see men stop bickering and fighting one another and throwing each other underneath the bus, especially in the manosphere of all of us men. And I would love to see us come together. And I would love to see us have a spot for every community around the whole world where men can go and meet men that are like minded, that are been pushed out and labeled in society, so that they can have somebody to talk to. Somebody maybe just to hang out and have a beer or have a cup of coffee. That's right. Sit back, maybe watch a movie together. Somebody just to crack it up with and talk to. Somebody to, because you need a way to vent. You need friends. Everybody does. No, I would never ask for donations because that's not who I am. So no, I should not ask for donations. That's what I think about what you just said. To this other person over here that just said that I should ask for donations. No, I should not. I should not and will not, and I never have and never will. Okay, that's the way that goes. I don't do this for money. I don't do this for self gain. I don't need the monetary system to help other people. I don't need anything. I don't even have ego. I'm egoless. I really am. I don't believe in running on ego because ego to me leads to corruption. I've seen too many people that fly on ego. And these people always wind up becoming corrupt or becoming hypocrites because of their ego. No, I don't run on ego and I don't run about money. I do things from care. You know, that one thing that our society's missing is care. You know, the one tool that could really bring everybody back together again and stop all the corruption is care. You know, the reason people don't stand together is because they lack what I have. Now, you might get mad at me for saying that, but it is true. Whether you like it or not, it's absolutely true. I have what our society is missing, our world is missing. It's called care. Okay, that's what it's about. I care. I've always cared. I care for everybody in general. I do not hate women. So you need to understand that. I never have hated women. Never. Okay? I don't totally blame women. You know who I blame? The names and faces of the people responsible for it. It's social engineering. Okay? I have no respect for vaginas. I don't call them manginas. Because I refuse to put man in front of their name. Because there's nothing manly about their behavior. So I just simply call them vagina. No, I don't have an ego because I delete people's comments. I just don't put up with shit. There's a difference between having an ego and putting up with people's shit. If you're going to come up here and think you can just crack shit, start drama, I'll delete you because you represent bad behavior. Because you do unto others that you would not want done unto yourself. Because you hide behind an icon, don't use your real name because you're a coward. Okay? And there's some people that I just don't say much to because they are just that. And there's other people that get removed without me telling them a thing, just like just now. See, I don't have to own up to anybody because I don't put up with people's shit. That's the difference. I don't have ego. Okay, I don't want people's money. I have what maybe that's why they're trying to push me to ask for money. Maybe that's why you're saying some of what you're saying. If you want to confuse ego with care, go ahead. You're the one that's confused. I don't have ego. I really don't. I don't run on ego. Ego causes corruption. I don't believe I'm better than you. I don't think I'm above any of you. Okay, that's just it. That's as simple as that. I don't believe I'm better than you. I don't want to be better than you. I don't think I'm smarter than you or more intelligent than you. I don't want to feel that I'm smarter or more intelligent than another human being. Okay? I truly don't. I don't care about how many views I get. It's not about fame. It's not about how many views I get, how many people are listening. It's about helping other people. It's about trying to make a better world for all of us. Not just myself, but for all of us. It's about true care. Okay, so I just really don't care what other people think or say. I know how I feel and I know what I consider people running on ego. I see it all around me all the time, especially here online. And I don't represent any of them people because I don't like to go along with that. Matter of fact, me and some people could have a few arguments over that type of behavior because it can lead to being a hypocrite. It can lead to doublespeak. It can lead to telling other people what they need to do in their life to improve their life or how to act and what not to do, and then you turn around and do everything you're telling them not to do behind the scenes and they don't know you're doing it. So you're a hypocrite. You're a liar. You're a deceiver. You don't practice as you preach. We have lots of phonies online that do just exactly that. Okay? And you know, in the truther community, how many people do you see in the truthers that'll touch the dating scene topics at all? People preaching about the Masons, preaching about NWO, preaching about the false flags, okay? Preaching about the school shootings, whatever they are, okay? And showing you these things. And how many of them people teach you this stuff and then will also teach you and tell you about how corrupt the dating scene is and where the problems came from? You don't see that, do you? Most of them won't touch this topic at all. They really won't. And won't touch this topic at all. Even though the dating scene and how we treat each other, how men and women are treating each other, and men are treating each other, and women are treating each other, all comes from social engineering and your family upbringing. And your family upbringing is being destroyed by the social engineering. It's understanding this and seeing through it. If you can recognize the programming that's been put onto you, and you can throw that programming out the door and recognize right from wrong and have care for people that you don't even know, care for other people as much as you care for your own self, then you could do what I do. Do you think I've been up here for this many years doing this because I didn't care? Do you think I go out of my way to help people I've never met in my life, and I've done this my whole life, because I don't care? Do you think I would just fix somebody's automobile because I had the skill and the knowledge and not ask for a penny and tell them to have a nice day? And ain't even a holiday neither. Right in the middle of the year, just out of nowhere. And I walked away with a smile on my face because my payment was doing that for them, and I didn't even know them. You know, I used to drive cab. I drove cab for a bunch of years. And in them times I was driving cab, I had a woman climb in my cab. I picked her up at a parts store. She had a new car battery with her. And on the way back to her address, I asked her, says she got a car battery. She says, yeah, my battery went bad this morning, so I had to put a new battery in the car. And I says, okay. And I says, so what was the car doing? What made you think it went bad? She says to me, well, when I turned the key, it just sat there. And I says, so it went click, click, and nothing? It was dead? She says, no. She said, well, it went, and that's all it does. It's, so that must be the battery. So I got a friend to drop me off at the parts store, a neighbor, while she was headed to work. And I had to call a cab to get back home, of course. That's why I called you. And I says, so would you mind if when we get your drop you off, if I have a look at your car? She says, no, you can go ahead and do that. And I says, because I don't think you need a battery. She says, what? And I says, I don't think you need a battery. And I got out of the car when I got there, and she popped her hood, and I took a look. I found the problem. I went to the trunk of the cab where I kept some tools because I also worked on the cabs. I made a couple adjustments to her distributor. Told her to turn her key and it started right up. The smile on her face was gold, man, I'm telling you. She was so happy. So happy. I told her, now you can put your battery in your car and you can go back to the parts store and get your money back. She says, how much do I owe you? And I says, nothing. Just what's on the meter for me bringing you here, because I have to collect that because that's who I'm working for, is this company, so I need to collect that. But for what I just done here, nothing. She said, are you sure? And I says, yes, because that is me. I have literally done this type of stuff hundreds of times in my life for people I did not even know. I've done it for men and women both. If I can help you fix something and I'm present and I'm able to do it, I did it. No punts, just like now. No money, no donations, no nothing. Because I wanted to help. This is who I am. This is who I am. Been this way my whole life. Now, so many people want to say, oh, well, that makes you weak. When you tell me that makes me weak, actually, that makes you weak. Because that means you're a product of the system and you think you had to have some kind of monetary gain out of helping somebody else, and you ain't got care. It demonstrates that you're missing something vital here. See, I have care. This is what's missing out of our society. This is the reason people don't stand up. Well, we have women who are busy with their careers that don't got time for dating. We have women out here, let's look at the other end of this, okay, who have been hit on over and over and over and over and over again. And because I can put myself in somebody else's shoes, because I'm not a female, I am 100% male, I could put myself in her shoes and think about if I was the one being hit on all the fucking time, everywhere I went, and even when I had somebody already in my life, or if I didn't have time in my life and didn't care at the time, and I'm constantly being hit on, how that would get to be owed, how that would get to be annoying, how that would actually irritate the fuck out of me. And I'm not even a woman. All I had to do is put myself in her shoes to figure that out. See, people lack that, don't they? I can understand a woman's frustrations when she's constantly hit on. But don't get me wrong. At the same token, we got women getting up on mainstream media calling themselves a dating guru expert. And the hardest thing she ever did was take her pick of her favorite toy or candy. She's not no expert at dating. How could she be an expert at dating? How could she give advice for dating to men when the hardest thing she ever done in her life was pick out her favorite candy? She absolutely has no skill. Now, if there was a dating expert that was a guy, a man, I'd be more likely to listen to him. You know why? Because he's the one that had the gender roles pushed on him. He's the one that had to go out there and do the approaching and the impressing. Isn't that true? Yes, that is. He's the one that had to do all the work. She had to do all the nothing. See, so even when I put myself in a woman's shoes, and I can definitely understand how a woman would get very frustrated because in today's society, she's got a boyfriend already, and guys don't want to take no for an answer and think that makes them a better man if they can get in somebody else, some other guy's woman's pants. That don't make them a better man. That makes them a parasite. That makes them scum. If she says, I'm already married, I'm already with somebody, and she's polite and she's being honest to you, then you have to give her respect and leave her alone and stop hitting on her. But you know how many guys won't do that? You know how many guys will still continue to hit on her regardless? Then you'd wonder why a woman might get frustrated and start hating on men. Because sometimes you men create the women who hate you. Did you ever stop to think about that? It's no different than the TFLer who hates the woman that's rejected him over and over and over and over and over. Do you see how that's why I like to call this topic, when it comes to men and women's issues, the Great Divide? Because it's just such a deep topic, and it's personal, and it's big, because we have so many narcissist women, so much drama that's created by the woman, that it literally makes a relationship next to impossible to be in sometimes. These dating apps are the same thing as, okay, one of your major dating apps, you know who's on the major board of that dating app? Chelsea Clinton. So for all you people that said your government's not involved in the dating arena, you need to firmly take your heads out of your you know what. The government's been involved in the dating arena for neons or eons now. Forever and ever and ever. It is the powers to be that have divided the genders and screwed up the dating scene. It was no accident. No accident at all. And it's the programming and men who helped to create the narcissist woman. Did your daddy not teach you, if you had a sister, that you're not allowed to put your hands on her? Did they not pamper the sister in front of the boy and throw the boy under the bus? I've witnessed this with my own eyes in homes with children for years now. And because I've witnessed it with my own eyes over and over and over again, I'll tell you what. When you got a family that has 2 or 3 boys and a girl, or 2 girls and a couple boys, or 3 boys and a girl, or 1 boy and 1 girl, you're going to see with your own eyes the majority of people out here are going to pamper, favor, and place on a pedestal that little girl. They're going to throw that little boy under a bus, and they're not even going to know they're doing it. They're going to do it out of social engineering. That's what they're going to do it out of. They're not going to realize that they're doing it. They're not going to see the wrong in it because everybody's doing it, so it seems to be norm. So you know where that leads, right? You do know where that goes, right? I'll tell you where that leads and where that goes. Welcome to the self-entitled narcissist woman in today's society. And yes, Chelsea Clinton is on the board of, what is it, Tinder? I think it's Tinder. It's that app you have on your phone. Okay, and that part is true. Look it up. I'm on the book on that. The government's always been involved in the dating arena. It's one of the first things I learned when I was researching NWO. You got to remember, the reason my channel always had political and dating scene topics on it from the day I came online, and I've lost 3, 4 channels now, locked out of 2 other channels. The reason I was literally the only person that done this, no lie, until about 3 or 4 years ago when a clown came online and mimicked me. Until then, I was literally the only person that ever done this. I talked political, NWO, and dating. I was criticized and called names for doing so, and asked why the hell I would have political NWO topics on a dating channel where I'm talking about dating. Why don't I open a separate channel for the dating? Because what woke me up to the criminal behavior of our government and our society was the dating scene. Because I recognized the corruption, because I care, and because I care about people. When I was living TFL myself, I wanted to know why. I wanted to know why women were acting what they were doing and what they were doing. Why it was being pushed out in 1 to 5 seconds. Why it meant so many other men that was having the same problem. I wanted to know where the hell this come from. This is what started me looking to begin with. And the more I dug, the more I wound up with the government, with the government. Then I wound up with powers to be, our globalist, the elite. This is why, because TFL is a direct product of the powers to be. Divide and conquer. Destruction of the family unit. Okay, then there's the create the problem, give the solution. What do you think PUA was? Problem, reaction, solution. Government creates problem. People react. Government gives phony solution. Phony solution was pickup artist industry. None of it's an accident. None of it. How people don't see this sometimes is beyond me. So what do we have to look forward for, for 2019? Rhea, honestly, think about that. What do you got to look forward to for 2019? Really nothing. What you probably have more to look forward to is more corruption. That's right. More phony baloney news. Fraudulent lies news. That's right. You're going to be lied to thousands and thousands of times again. Probably some more phony baloney shootings. Maybe another incident like 9/11. Who knows? Another big one, right? But regardless of what, it'll be a lie you'll be lied to. It'll be by the very people that you are allowing to do this because you've done nothing about it. And the reason we won't stand up is because we don't have care. We're all divided. You don't have what I have. People have already confused sex with love, lust with love. You have them tangled up in your head, the young people especially, you know, and that's just the way it is, you know. And I just, I'm only telling it as it is, and I don't care whether you like it or not. And since I'm such a joke, so are you. The joke's on you. You're gone. Isn't that awesome? Yep, the joke's on them now. See how that works? I'm such a joke that they're gone. See how that works? And I moved on. Okay, I'm done with that topic. It's just beyond me how people can't see this, or people just want to cover this up and keep it going and keep it going and keep it going. You know, but I'm not going to keep it going for people. I talked to Steve tonight before I come up and done this live stream. Okay. Steve did want me to tell you that people do have, you have this niche of putting people in a category. You've decided for people that you're going to label and put them in a category that you've got this niche to. People want to think that they know you already and they know what your life's about. That the only thing you have is online and TFL, and that's all you do. And Steve did want me to talk about that a little bit, and I think I did dress a little bit earlier. People love to do that, don't they? Yeah, they do. But it's not true. See, you don't know me, you don't know Steve Hoka. I have a reason for doing what I'm doing. It's because I care. I want to see TFLers be able to make themselves happy. I really do. I don't want to see them suffering. I don't want to see them killing themselves. I don't want to see them do what this guy done not long ago, setting himself on fire and killing himself, all because he couldn't get a girlfriend in his life. He didn't understand how lucky he was not to have a girlfriend in his life, considering the majority of the women today just don't want nothing but drama and they're all about themselves anyhow. Okay? So he didn't understand that, did he? No. But he killed himself, and that saddens me. You know, we do have some good women left out here. We really do. Not all women are evil. Not all women are after your money. Not all women are users. Unfortunately, the majority of women are programmed, and we have an awful lot of narcissist women because of our own fault. We created them. We really did. When you pamper them and put them on a pedestal, and they can do no wrong, and when you can have mainstream media and your Hollywood constantly male bashing every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, what do you think that does to the little girl's mind as she's growing up? She's watching TV as a child, watching cartoons. She's getting a little bit older and a little bit older, and she's a young teen now. What does she see? The same thing you see. Male bashing, male bashing, male bashing, male bashing. So what persona does that feed to that girl? Yeah, think about that. That's brainwashing programming within itself. So you really want to think about that. You don't see no outcry telling Hollywood to knock it off. Stop making commercials and sitcoms and movies with male bashing in it. You don't see that, do you? No, nobody's out crying over that, are they? Well, I am. I'm sick and tired of seeing it. It needs to come to a stop. What do you think you're doing to the little girl's mind that's growing up as a kid? How do you think that little boy must feel as they grow up and this is all they see? The little boy seeing his own self smashed, 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 knocked down, cut down, put down, shamed. The little boy was told right away, you don't never hit a girl, even in school. There's absolutely no risk, no reason to put your hands on a girl. But the little girl's not told that, is she? No, she's not. It's all one-sided. It's one-sided. Smash the boy. Smash the boy. Shame the boy. And the little girl grows up in the same world seeing this all her life. So what do you think it's done to the girl's mind? You want to complain about the women's behavior, but why don't you look around you? What do you really think that's doing? then you should understand why we're facing the problems as men as we're facing. We're facing them because of this type of shit right here. And because the men will not stand up to the female. Because we won't make her accountable for her actions. We will dismiss her actions and say she's not accountable because she's a female. BS, she is too. We'll always talk about it's the woman's kid, the woman's kid, the woman's kid, even in the movies. It's her kid, it's her kid, it's her kid, it's her kid. So you mean she magically had a kid without a man? This is where this comes from. I would hate to think of how bad it is for kids nowadays, Dave. I see it though. Think about it yourself. You can't even turn on the TV without seeing male bashing. You cannot turn on the TV without seeing male bashing whatsoever. And the first thing you're going to see is male bashing, male bashing. And you know, we see it. Don't tell me the children don't see it. Don't tell me the children don't know it. They're too young to know what they're seeing. Bullshit. Yeah, maybe at 4, 5, and 6 years old they was. But by the time they get to be 9, 10, and 11, oh no, it's already setting in. By the time they get to be 12, 13, and 14, it's carved in their brains. And what do you think all that male bashing did for these girls? These little girls grow up seeing all this. Then you wonder why they're so sexist towards the man, huh? Even in middle school, kids, the girls are so much above the man. They know they're smarter, they know they're more intelligent, they know this, they know that. That's because of this right here. The media, Hollywood, constantly shaming the man. And other men here online using shaming tactics against other men. And then attacking them and using shaming tactics. And what do you think that shaming tactics did? And the problem is now Dave's right, the TV is garbage. But the problem is tell the world that. You know how many kids are sitting in front of their TV every day? And you know how many of them boys and them girls are sitting in front of the TV every day, every day, every day? Around this country? Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. The numbers are astonishing. If you could really get the statistics to how many kids are sitting in front of their TV every day, the numbers would blow you right off the roof. Now you think about what we've done to our children. This is what these children are growing up with. What do you think you've done to the female's mind by the time she's 15, 16 years old? The best thing you could do for your kids is take the TV away from them. No lie. From the time they're young. Take the TV out of the home. That's the best thing you can do for your children. It's being used as a weapon against all of us. You claim your children's your future while you're destroying your future with a TV set. But anyhow, people. So you know my wishes for New Year's now, right? We already know we're going to wake up to the same old BS. But my wishes for New Year's is for TFLers to figure out a way to make themselves happy. so that they can live their life without suffering and being in misery over just not having somebody. Another human being cannot make you happy. You have to be able to make yourself happy first. You cannot count on another human being for happiness. That's an illusion. That's a mirage. And especially in an evil world like what we live in. So for TFLers to figure out a way to take their mind and make themselves happy so they can live their life comfortably for themselves. And maybe one day somebody will come along and they'll actually meet a really good woman and have somebody in their life. And if they don't, at least they won't be suffering day in and day out. Because our world loves to see people suffer, especially men. And for the manosphere, let's stop fighting one another. And for you, phony, baloney, fraudulent MGTOWers that are TFLers in denial, you've told on yourself thousands of times over that you're not a man going your own way. If you was really a man going your own way, Billy should have been able to find a video from a man going his own way. When there's hundreds and hundreds of MGTOW videos on YouTube, why can't he not find one video of a real MGTOWer? Why is every video from all you MGTOWers bitching about women? Because you clearly haven't gone your own way, or you wouldn't be complaining about the female gender. You would be talking about the things that you're doing with your life now that you've moved your own way, now that you've went your own way. But you're clearly not talking about that now, are you? No, you're not. That's because you're actually a TFLer in denial. You're running from a name. Yes, Bill knows TV's for stupid people, but now you just caught millions and millions of people that are asleep to what's going on stupid. Because I'll guarantee you, you grew up in your home as a child with a TV set. And I'll guarantee you, at one time as a child, you looked at that TV set too. It's not the TV set isn't stupid, it's the people who are in control of the TV set. That's the people that are stupid. It's not the millions and millions of people watching the TV set. It's the controllers of the TV set. If you want to know who the real stupid people are, it isn't people watching TV, it's the controllers of the TV set. It's your entertainment industry, Hollywood. That's right. It's the people in control of the television set. Them are the stupid people. And you want to know something else? You want to talk about stupid? How we sit back and put up with male shaming and male bashing for year after year after year after year. Well, Jeff, I sent you an email, I do believe, and it's got the information in it for you. I sent one to Steve. I do believe I sent one to you as well. So you might want to look in your email. Did you try it again? Did you get an ID number from me? Use the same phone number? Did you try it more than once? And it didn't let you in? I can't change that now then, so you won't be able to come in today. I didn't want to go back to the other number just yet because I didn't want to troll. So I changed the settings and I got random meeting numbers. But that meeting number I sent you should have worked. Yeah, try it again because that should have worked. I sent you a new ID number because I'm not using the same one as last time. And I think I put the phone number and it'd be the same phone number. Well, if you didn't have a TV set when you were a kid, you were quite lucky then. Because there's millions and millions of people all over the world that do. And these children grow up seeing that TV set unless the parents take control and stop them. And you cannot blame the children. And if the parents didn't know any better because they grew up in front of a TV set and they're young parents, and they're not awake to what's going on around them in society, then I really have trouble. I can't call these people, them names. Wow, it says it doesn't exist, huh? Well, I didn't put the phone number out here, but I'll put the ID in and tell me it matches in case I screwed up, okay? I will put the ID number in here. Okay, I'm just double checking it. Okay, give me a second and I'll put the ID number in here again. Tell me if it matches the one I typed to you. Does that match the number you dialed in? I know I'm sitting here patiently waiting on Jeff to get back with me here. That didn't work. There ain't nothing I can do for you, okay? We'll have to try it next time. I could change the setting back to the other meeting number, okay? I shouldn't have to, but I can. I can also talk to technical support and make sure that I can use the random numbers. I was just trying to prevent stupid people like what we had last time from calling in and coming into a live feed that they're not invited into. Because that's what stupid people do. Okay, well, I don't see Jeff in here yet, so I think that I think we probably got a problem with it. So, oh, I know what I'm doing wrong here. Then I do this. There we go. Fixed. That was me. You saw me messing around because I had to straighten out my thing here on my side. But anyhow, I guess I'm going to go ahead and jump out of here then. Because I've probably been up here for an hour and a half, maybe a little more. Oh, yes, our fraudulent hoaxer here. Yeah, he used to be in here. He's gone now. Yep, that's fine. I'm out of here myself. So, guys, I hope things get better for New Year's. And Dave, check me out for an email. I'll send you my email and let's hook up so we can chat. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here myself. And you all have a good one.